How many times have you missed the signs someone was interested in you simply because you weren't paying attention, or worse, because you doubted your worth? As men who strive to embody the principles of Stoicism, we don't just react to the world around us, we observe it. When it comes to attraction, understanding the subtle signals someone gives you is a skill, not a guessing game. Today, we're going to uncover 5 phrases a woman says when she likes you. These phrases aren't random. They're rooted in psychology and reveal her mindset, her intentions, and even her vulnerabilities. But here's the catch. A Stoic man doesn't let flattery or emotions cloud his judgment. He sees things as they are, not as he wishes them to be. So, if you're ready to sharpen your perception and understand these cues like a true Stoic, let's dive in. You're so different from other guys. When a woman says this, it's not just a compliment. It's a reflection of her perception. She's noticed something about you that sets you apart, something intriguing. But here's the key. A Stoic man doesn't let this phrase inflate his ego. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Her words might be genuine, but they might also be a test of how grounded you are. Will you lose yourself in flattery, or will you remain centered, knowing your value doesn't depend on external validation? From a psychological perspective, this phrase is often used to gauge how you'll react. If you lean too heavily into it, seeking more validation, you risk losing the mysterious edge that made her curious in the first place. A Stoic response is to acknowledge the compliment with quiet confidence. A simple "thank you," followed by a change in topic, keeps you in control of the interaction. Remember, being different should not be your goal. Being authentic, disciplined, and calm under pressure is what truly makes you stand out. I don't usually tell people this, but this phrase is powerful. It signals trust, vulnerability, and an attempt to deepen the connection. When a woman shares something personal with you, she's testing whether you're the kind of man who can handle her truth without judgment. Now here's where Stoicism comes into play. Epictetus teaches us we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. A Stoic man doesn't rush to respond or fill the silence. Instead, he listens intently, showing he values the trust she's extending. Psychologically, people crave someone who can hold space for their emotions without overwhelming them with advice or opinions. When you respond calmly and thoughtfully, you become a rare presence, a man she feels safe opening up to. Here's a dark psychology insight. This phrase also gives her a sense of exclusivity. By sharing something with you that she doesn't share with others, she's inviting you into her inner world. But the key to maintaining attraction is not to overreact or overly reciprocate. The Stoic response is to acknowledge her vulnerability, remain composed, and subtly reinforce that you're a grounded and steady presence in her life. A simple, "I appreciate you sharing that with me," followed by a reflective pause, can be far more impactful than trying to match her vulnerability too soon. What are you doing this weekend? On the surface, this might seem casual, but it's far more than small talk. This phrase is her way of testing the waters, gauging your availability, and subtly expressing interest in spending time with you. As a Stoic, this is where your composure is critical. Seneca reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Don't jump at the opportunity like a starving man at a feast. Instead, maintain your balance. Show her that your life is already full and meaningful, but that you're open to including her if it aligns with your purpose. From a psychological perspective, this phrase often comes with unspoken curiosity. Are you busy because you're interesting and driven? Or are you free because you're waiting around for someone to validate you? Your response will answer that question for her. The Stoic man's response is neither overly eager nor dismissive. A simple, confident reply like, "I've got a few things planned, but I might be able to make time." "What did you have in mind?" shows that you value your time, but are also open to connection. This balance of self-respect and approachability is magnetic. By keeping your emotions in check and not over-prioritizing her interest, you maintain the mystery and strength that initially drew her to you. I noticed you like, insert specific interest. This phrase might seem innocent, but it's a subtle sign of admiration. She's paying attention to what you enjoy, what drives you, and what makes you unique. By bringing it up, she's not just starting a conversation. She's showing you that she's invested enough to notice the details. Here's where Stoicism and dark psychology align. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you hear this phrase, don't let your thoughts spiral into overanalysis or pride. Instead, focus on maintaining a calm, steady demeanor. Knowing your value doesn't come from her recognition, but from your own self-discipline and purpose. Psychologically, when someone mirrors your interests, it's an attempt to connect on a deeper level. But a Stoic man remains the observer. He sees her interest as a positive sign, not something to become overly reliant on. Your response should be measured and confident. Something like, "Yeah, I've been into that for a while. It's something I'm passionate about. How about you?" "I'm glad you feel that way." That simple yet powerful response reinforces the emotional connection without over-validating or seeking approval. You acknowledge her words, but you don't let them define you. This is a core principle of Stoicism, maintaining inner balance regardless of external circumstances. When a woman expresses that she feels comfortable opening up to you, she is revealing a deep level of trust. Trust is not built overnight. It is cultivated through consistent emotional presence, grounded communication, and a genuine lack of neediness. Modern dating culture often encourages men to impress, chase, and prove their worth. But the Stoic man does the opposite. He remains still in his essence, allowing attraction to form naturally. Stillness is not passivity. It is an active state of inner certainty that draws others in. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." The Stoic man embodies this peace in every interaction, making women feel safe, intrigued, and deeply connected. When she says, "I feel like I can really talk to you," she's not just complimenting you. She's revealing an emotional need that most men overlook. Women crave depth, not just excitement. They want a man who can hold space for their emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Too many men mistake listening for waiting their turn to speak. They become too eager to relate, share, or fix. The Stoic man listens differently. He listens without attachment, without the need to interject. He absorbs the words, understands the emotion behind them, and responds with composed sincerity. When she shares something deep, instead of rushing to validate or advise, pause. Hold the silence for a moment. Let her feel heard, then respond with a simple yet meaningful statement. "That makes sense," or "I hear you." By doing this, you make her feel understood without inserting your own emotions into the conversation. This keeps you grounded, and paradoxically, it makes her feel even more drawn to you. A Stoic man does not allow external validation, whether positive or negative, to dictate his self-worth. This includes both compliments and rejections. When she says, "I feel safe around you," you don't let it inflate your ego. When she pulls away or tests your composure, you don't react emotionally. Instead, you stay steady. You recognize her emotions as separate from your own. This is what makes you different from other men. Your sense of self is not dependent on how she feels about you at any given moment. Seneca wrote, "If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Your internal direction should remain unchanged, whether she praises you or challenges you. This is what keeps you magnetically attractive. Attraction deepens when you shift the focus back on her, not in a way that seeks approval, but in a way that shows genuine curiosity. When she shares something personal, instead of immediately responding with your own story, ask her something deeper. These questions not only keep the conversation engaging, but they also make her feel truly seen. Women are drawn to men who make them reflect and feel understood on a deeper level. This is the art of masculine leadership in conversation. One of the most powerful traits of a Stoic man is his ability to remain non-reactive. Women test men, often unconsciously, to gauge their emotional stability. They want to see if you can hold your frame under pressure. For example, if she teases you or tries to provoke a reaction, most men either get defensive or overly playful to compensate. The Stoic man, however, simply smiles, maintains eye contact, and responds with a calm, collected remark. Something like, "Interesting take," with a slight smirk, or "Noted." By staying composed, you communicate that you are not easily shaken. This, in turn, deepens her attraction because she sees you as emotionally strong, a trait that is rare and highly desirable. Most men fear silence in conversations. They rush to fill the gaps, thinking it will keep the interaction smooth. But the Stoic man understands that silence is a tool, not a weakness. When she finishes speaking, instead of immediately responding, allow a brief pause. This does two things. It shows you are deeply considering what she just said, and it creates tension. One of the key ingredients of attraction, a well-placed pause makes her lean in, anticipating your response. This subtle dynamic shift places you in the position of control without being forceful. A woman's attraction is not just about your words. It's about your energy, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle challenges, the way you remain centered in chaos. This is what makes a man truly magnetic. A high-value man does not chase. He does not overinvest. He does not seek validation. Instead, he creates a reality that others want to be part of. When she says, "I feel like I can really talk to you," she is seeing glimpses of this energy. She recognizes that you are different, that you are a man who understands human nature and operates on a higher level. Emotional control does not mean suppressing your feelings. It means mastering them. A Stoic man feels deeply but expresses selectively. He is not emotionless, but he chooses when and how to display emotions in a way that aligns with his values. This emotional control is attractive because it signals strength. It shows that you are not easily swayed by external forces. It reassures her that you can be a rock in times of chaos. When a woman tells you, "I feel like I can really talk to you," she is expressing more than just words. She is revealing a deep emotional truth, that she sees you as someone she can trust, respect, and open up to. Your role is not to overindulge in this moment or seek validation from it. Instead, you acknowledge it with composure, continue leading the interaction with curiosity, and maintain the calm, grounded energy that makes you so captivating in the first place. The Stoic path is one of mastery over self, emotions, and relationships. And when you embody these principles, you don't just attract women, you inspire them. Because at the core of it all True attraction is not about tricks or tactics. It is about becoming a man of depth, presence, and unwavering inner strength. As you continue walking this path, remember that it is not about controlling others. It is about mastering yourself. The more you refine your mind, the more naturally others will gravitate toward your energy. The world responds to those who carry themselves with quiet certainty. And when you cultivate this presence, you become the rare kind of man that people, women included, find irresistible, not because you seek their validation, but because you have transcended the need for it. You are self-contained, powerful in your stillness, and profoundly magnetic in your authenticity. So take this knowledge, apply it, and embody it. Let your presence speak louder than your words. Let your grounded energy create the attraction and trust that others seek. And most importantly, remain unwavering in your own path, knowing that true strength comes from within.